you.
Thank you. Should I share my screen, dear?
First, present yourself and after, and introduction about IIU. You are live now.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Hope you are having a fantastic time. Let's first introduce myself. That's my privilege. I am Dr. Tapsi Nagpal. I am working as an associate professor in Lingaya's Vidyapeeth, Faridabad. I am also working as a university PhD coordinator. Now I have the privilege to introduce you a small brief introduction about IIU. International Internship University, IIU, is a leading virtual education system and global brand confederation, which is the most valuable and trusted worldwide and well-reputed in delivering innovative programs. Globally, it is a trusted name for quality training programs and is committed to providing better and virtual education to all the young learners of the globe. In a short span of time, IIU has spread its wings in 195 countries and 6 continents under the strong leadership of its visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit Sir. A committed and inspiring social activist, a passionate educationist from the last 2 decades, providing education to students from various social and cultural backgrounds. Today, I am here to talk about emotional intelligence. Now, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is like whenever we realize, we control and evaluate the emotions of the persons sitting with us or not sitting with us. Now, how can we come to know that we are or one is emotionally intelligent? See, if a person is able to identify and describe what other people are feeling, and a person is aware of personal strengths and weaknesses, one is self-confident, one is able to understand from his or her mistakes, one is able to accept and imbibe the change, one is having strong sense of curiosity, particularly about other people. One has feeling of great care and concern for others. One shows sensitivity towards the feelings of other people, and one accepts the responsibility for mistakes. That means the other person is accepting the mistakes very responsibly. One is able to control the emotions in all the difficult situations. Now, what are the components of emotional intelligence? Researchers suggest, like research people, they suggest there are 4 different levels of emotional intelligence, which include emotional perception, the ability to reason using emotions, ability to understand emotions, ability to control emotions. Let's understand each level one by one. Perceiving emotions. Now, what do we mean by perceive? Perceive means realizing something. First step in understanding emotions is that we realize them very correctly. In many of the cases, it involves understanding such signals which are not understood by the speech. That means they are understood by non-verbal signals. Now, what are those non-verbal signals? They are, it may be body language, facial expressions, like we can see here, different types of facial expressions which tell us about the emotions of others. Reasoning with emotions, another level. Now, we can use emotions to think properly and think wisely, cognitively. Emotions also help us make our priority whatever we are required to pay attention and whatever we are required to react to. And we must respond emotionally to the things which require our attention. Next is understanding emotions. Now, the emotions we realize carry a vast variety of meanings. A various meaningful sentence an emotion can carry. Now, if someone is angry and is expressing angry emotion, the observer must be emotionally intelligent that much that he interprets the cause why the person is angry and what does it mean. For example, if your boss is acting angry, it might mean that they are dissatisfied with your work, or it could be because they got a speeding ticket on their way to work that morning, or a common answer that they have been fighting with their partners. Managing emotions. Now, what do we mean by how to control emotions? The ability to manage emotions or control emotions effectively, it is a very important part of emotional intelligence. Now, controlling emotions, responding to them nicely, and responding to the emotions of other people, they all are important factors of emotional management. That means, how do we control the emotions? Now, what is the significance of emotional intelligence? As we know, it is not only the smartest people who are the most successful or the most fulfilled in time. One has to be emotionally intelligent in order to be successful in life. Now, we know people, many of the people who are academically brilliant, they are very intelligent academically, but they are not apt socially, or they are not successful at work or in their personal relationships. Now, intellectual ability may count to achieve success in life, but it does not. It is not the only factor which helps one to achieve success. One has to be emotionally intelligent along with having the intellectual ability to help manage the stress and emotion one faces in daily life. Now, both intelligence quotient and emotional quotient, they complement each other and help us being successful in life. Emotional intelligence affects. Now, let us have an example of our performance at school or work. High emotional intelligence can help you sail through the social complexities of the workplace. If one is emotionally intelligent, one can easily pass through the complex problems of the workplace. One can lead others, encourage others, and become successful in career. In fact, when it comes to gauging important job candidates, many of the companies test the emotional quotient of the candidates and rate the emotional intelligence as important technical ability of a candidate. Emotional intelligence affects, we are continuing with it, your physical health. Now, if you are unable to control your emotions, you are probably not able to control your stress. And this can lead to serious health problems such as uncontrolled blood pressure. It suppresses the immune system, increases the risk of heart attacks, heart strokes. It contributes to infertility, and it may speed up the aging process. So the first step to improve emotional intelligence is to learn how to control the stress. Now, your mental health. He says that if the emotions are not controlled, the stress increases, and which can impact directly upon the mental health. So we may be very prone to anxiety and depression. And if we are able to understand each other, we are emotionally intelligent, then we are more comfortable with each other, and we can control emotions, and we can very easily form the relationships. In contrast to it, if we are unable to understand, we are unable to get comfortable with or control our emotions, then it is very difficult for us to make strong relationships. This in turn can leave us feeling lonely, isolated, and it further exaggerates our mental health problems. Your relationships. By understanding your emotions and how to control them, you are better able to express how you feel and understand when others are feeling, what others are feeling basically. So what he says, if we understand the emotions, we control them, we can easily express how we are feeling and understand how other persons are feeling. This allows to communicate more effectively and make stronger relationships both at work and in our personal life. Your social intelligence. Being in tune with our emotions serves a social purpose, connecting us to other people and the world around us. Social intelligence enables us to identify who is our friend, who is our enemy, and it can also measure another person's interest in you. That means we can easily find out whether the other person is interested in us or not. And when we are having good friends in our life, it reduces stress and definitely it balances the nervous system through social communication while talking to each other, communicating our feelings with the other person, and we feel loved and more happy. Now, building emotional intelligence. What are the important skills to increase our emotional quotient? Self-management, self-awareness, social awareness, and relationship management. Coming to one by one, self-management. Emotions are important pieces of information that tell us about ourselves and other people. But in the face of stress, that means when one is having stress, it takes us out of our comfort zone and we can become overwhelmed and lose control of ourselves. With the ability to control stress and stay emotionally present, we can learn to receive upsetting information without letting it override our thoughts and self-control. We can be able to make choices that allows us to control impulsive feelings, impulsive behaviors, control our emotions in healthy ways, take initiative, follow through on commitments, and adapt to changing circumstances. So what is this paragraph meaning? It means that if we are able to control our emotions, then it becomes easy for us to face the changes, right? And we are saved of the impulsive feelings. That means we are saved from being aggressive. So whatever we feel, we behave that ways only. If we feel impulsive, we behave impulsively. So if we feel good, happy, we will behave like that only. So it is very, very important to control oneself. Self-awareness. Self-awareness is like being able to connect to your emotions, having a moment-to-moment connection with your changing emotional experience. It is the key to understand how emotions influence our thoughts and actions. Just like I told you that whatever we think, we act accordingly. So it is very important to get connected to our emotions. With the ability to manage stress and stay emotionally present, we can learn to receive upsetting information. This we earlier understood. So what are the questions that we must answer to get ourselves aware of emotions? Do you experience feelings that flow? Now, encountering one emotion after another as your experiences change from moment to moment. So what is the motion we are encountering? Are your emotions accompanied by physical sensations? That means you experience in places like your stomach, throat, or chest. See, In a layman language, if we talk about whenever we are about to give some exam or appear for an interview, or we are doing something for the first time, the first thing we feel it is in our stomach. We feel as if butterflies are running in our stomach. So emotions are accompanied by the physical sensations. Now, do you experience individual feelings and emotions? How? Such as anger, sadness, fear, joy, each of which is evident in subtle facial expressions. So these are all non-verbal signals. Anger, we are angry. We don't speak anything, but our emotions show that. We are sad, we are fearful, and we are happy. Now, can you experience intense feelings, strong feelings that are strong enough to capture both your attentions and that of others? See, if I am so happy, my facial expressions will be like that only. I don't have to say anything. Just anybody who is emotionally intelligent, he or she can just see my face, see my emotions, and can come to know that I am here having some intense feeling. Either I am so happy or I am so sad. Do you pay attention to your emotions? Do they factor into your decision making? That means the emotions, they impact our decision making. That means if we are angry or not in a good mood, then we cannot take good decisions. It may be some wrong decisions. So we should have decision making process done by ourselves only when we are happy or in a good mood. In any of these experiences, or if any of these experiences are unfamiliar, you may have turned down or turned off your emotions. In order to build emotional quotient and become emotionally healthy, you must reconnect to your core emotions. You should analyze what are your emotions and how you can control those emotions. See, you have to be aware of those emotions. You have to be self-aware so that you can connect to your emotions and you can control them and you can accept them. This is very important, and become comfortable with those emotions. You can achieve this through the practice of mindfulness. Now, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is the practice of purposely focusing your attention on the present moment and without judgment. It's mindfulness. We don't pay more attention to the judgment. It's just like that with the help of a practice. The cultivation of mindfulness has roots in Buddhism. Buddhism, it is a religion, but most religions include some type of similar prayer or meditation technique. Buddhism is a religion in which people do small prayers with the help of meditation. So they feel peace in their mind. They feel that they are more keen to control their emotions. They are more keen to get aware about themselves while doing this meditation technique. Mindfulness helps shift your preoccupation with thought towards an appreciation of the moment. See, if we are mindful, then what we do? We just do what? Preoccupation. Like my mind is occupied with something. If I am mindful enough, then my thought process will shift towards other thought process, which is having in it appreciation, like it appreciates everything around your physical and emotional sensation. Now what else I can appreciate about physical and emotional sensations, and it brings a larger perspective on life. See, if we are having positive thoughts with us, then it's very easy and very nice for us to live life. Mindfulness calms and focuses you, making you more self-aware in the process. If we are mindful, see, we say, mind your language. That means many a times we have heard this phrase, mind your language. That means whatever we speak, we have to think it twice, right? That means we should be aware whatever we do, whatever we speak. Social awareness. Till now, we were making self-management, self-awareness. Now, we must be aware about the environment. Mindfulness is an ally of emotional and social awareness. Now, to build social awareness, what we need? We need to identify the importance of mindfulness in the social process. After all, you can't pick up on the subtle non-verbal cues when you are in your own head thinking about other things or simply zoning out on your phone. Social awareness requires your presence in the moment. That means that one must be very much aware socially. Likewise, there are many non-verbal cues which disturb us, which disturb our thinking, right? So we must be aware socially. While many of us pride ourselves on an ability to multitask, this means that you will miss the subtle emotional shifts taking place in other people that help you fully understand them, right? That means if we are not fully aware socially, we don't know about the environment, we don't know about our surroundings, that we may miss many things. You are actually more likely to further your social goals by setting other thoughts aside and focusing on the interaction. We must interact with the people around. Following the flow of another person's emotional responses is a give and take process that requires you to also pay attention to the changes in your own emotional experience. That means when we talk to some other people, then it is a give and take process. We give something, we take something, or that person gives us something and takes something from us. It is a flow. So we have to be attentive enough to make a give and take process. Paying attention to others doesn't diminish your own self-awareness. Wow, such a good thing. If we pay attention to anybody, it doesn't mean that we are not aware about ourselves. That means we are socially aware. By investing the time and effort to really pay attention to others, that means we are giving our time, we are investing time, and we are investing effort also, and we are really paying attention to other people. You will actually gain insight into your own emotional state. We will come to know what we are feeling emotionally, as well as your values and beliefs. For example, if you feel discomfort hearing others express certain views, you will have learned something important about yourself. That means if you are, discomfortable while hearing somebody, then you may learn about yourself that you don't like that thing. If you don't hear that thing, how will you know that you like or dislike that thing, right? Now, next comes relationship management. Now, human being is a social animal, so relationship is very important, and controlling the relationship is another aspect. Becoming aware of how effectively you use non-verbal communication. Here we see that when we talk about emotions, it is more about the non-verbal signals, the signals, the communication which is not requiring speech. Use humor and play to relieve stress. Humor is like we are amicable enough, we are joyful, we play, we are happy. Jokes. Learn to see conflict as an opportunity to grow closer to others. So we should always see positive in everything. If we are facing the conflicts, we should see that it is an opportunity to us to face the challenges, right? Now, what are the tips to improve emotional intelligence? When we are emotionally intelligent, then we have, see, if we have to be emotionally intelligent, then we have to follow the important tips, which are we should be listen empathically and reflect the thing. Listen, let's understand each term one by one. If you want to understand what other people are feeling, the first step is to pay attention. I just told you paying attention is a very, very important aspect to become emotionally intelligent. You must take the time to listen to what people are trying to tell you, both verbally, through speech, and non-verbally. That means through body language. Why? Because body language carries a great deal of meaning. When you sense that someone is feeling a certain way, consider the different factors that might be contributing to that emotion. Empathize. Now, picking up emotions is critical, but you also need to be able to put yourself into someone else's shoes in order to truly understand their point of view. That means we must feel what other person is feeling. How that we can feel? We can feel if we are emotionally intelligent. Now, practice empathizing with other people. Imagine how you would feel in their situation. Such activities can help you build an emotional understanding of a specific situation as well as develop stronger emotional skills in the long term. Reflect. Now, what is reflect? Reflect is whatever we gain, we must give it back. The ability to reason with emotions is an important part of emotional intelligence. We are emotionally intelligent, so we must use that emotional intelligence to think, to act wisely, that we have already understood. Consider how your own emotions influence your decisions, your behaviors. When you are thinking about how other people respond, assess the role that their emotions play. Why is this person feeling that way? Are there any unseen factors that might be contributing to these feelings? How do your emotions differ from others? As you explore such questions, you may find that it becomes easier to understand the role that emotions play in how people think and behave. Now, what are the examples of emotional intelligence? Self-regulation, that means self-control. Let's see, let's, assume that we are having a scenario, you are in a meeting and a boss criticizes you in front of other co-workers. What does the person with higher emotional quotient does? Maintains composure, stays calm, and politely excuses himself to process the emotions in a safe environment. But if a person is not emotionally intelligent, he may become defensive and storm out of the office. Now, another is empathy. An example, your roommate tells that it hurts their feelings when you forget to take out the trash. You agreed to take out the trash, but you did not. A person with higher emotional quotient will explain why you dropped the ball and tell them you understand that they are hurt. Then come up with an action plan together, but how to get both of your needs met. And a person with lower emotional quotient will find it difficult to understand why they are so upset and feel attacked by their criticism. Now we have another example for self-awareness. The scenario is you and your colleague were up for the same promotion, but they got it instead of you. Now, a person with higher emotional quotient will do what? Will reflect and realize that if he is being honest with himself, then he was not working as hard as his co-worker and his promotion is well deserved. What will the other person having lower emotional quotient do? He may fire off an angry email to the boss, demanding an explanation or threatening to quit. Another example for motivation. The scenario is you passed an exam and posted about it on social media. Person with higher emotional quotient will be proud of himself for the goal that you achieved and appreciative of any support you receive. Lower emotional quotient person may question your success or worth. Why? Because your post did not get many likes. Social skills. Let's see the scenario. You are on a date and it does not seem to be going very well. Higher emotional quotient person, you ask open-ended questions, maintain goodbye eye contact, and practice active listening. And a person with lower emotional quotient, you may stop paying attention and decide there must be something wrong with your date. Now, what are the drawbacks of emotional intelligence? Being low on emotional intelligence can have a number of drawbacks, but having a very high level of emotional skills can also come with challenges. For example, research suggests that people with high emotional intelligence may actually be less creative and innovative. Highly emotionally intelligent people may have a hard time delivering negative feedback for fear of hurting other people's feeling. Research has found that high emotional quotient can sometimes be used for manipulative and deceptive purposes. Now, I conclude some people have emotional intelligence naturally, while others need work a little harder at it. It is worth the effort you put in, though, as it can improve many areas of your life. You are the one who gets to control your emotions, so they don't control you. Once you learn this useful skill, your quality of life may improve. The better it gets, the better it gets. Thank you so much. I once again thank IIU for giving me such a wonderful, fantastic opportunity for being on this international forum. Thank you once again. Bye-bye.